That's what it seems like is happening. And speaking of lip service, let's move on to David Muir, however you pronounce his last name. But this was one of the moderators from the debate. Interesting interview. As I said before, his ratings have gone down a little bit. So now it seems like he's trying to, I guess, go on a show, kind of rebrand himself, because a lot of people, I think he lost credibility in a lot of people's eyes. And when you lose credibility, what did we talk about on the last show? When that reputation is harmed, it can be very difficult to win people back. So, and what did we say on the last show? The best way to improve a reputation is to tell the truth, and first and foremost, be truthful to ourselves. Y'all tell me if you think he's being truthful.
I have to congratulate you. You moderated the presidential debate last week, and more than 70 million people tuned in for that. Yeah. That is massive. Now, a lot of, I can't believe we got you here. I really appreciate it.
I'm sure you've been asked to do a lot of interviews.
A lot of interviews.
I said only Kelly and Mark. No, honestly, I will say this about the debate. You guys know me better than anyone. You know, I basically disappeared for the end of the summer because of the weight of this debate. You take it seriously, Lindsay and I, and this extraordinary small team we have at ABC. And we spent a lot of time, and I believe it was our duty to ask the issues that Americans care about. You know, the economy. Are we better off than we were 4 years ago? Immigration. What are you going to do about the border? Why did you wait so long before you acted on the border? Those types of questions. Reproductive rights. Afghanistan. Do you bear any responsibility? Peaceful transfer of power with the next election coming. You know, these are all really important issues. The issues of our time, really. And I always say, as a moderator, you know, what the candidates decide to do with that time, you can ask the questions, but they'll answer with whatever they choose to answer with.
That's right.
I have to stop it here very quickly, because so another reason that I actually forgot to mention why he's doing this little tour or whatever, jumping on these shows, is because this supposed affidavit came out. Now, I haven't presented it to you all because it hasn't been confirmed, but apparently this affidavit came out, and maybe I should show you guys it. Hold on. Let me, I'll look for it while he's talking. But an affidavit came out that was highlighting the things that, or highlighting, apparently somebody on their team, whistleblower, came out and said that they had conversations with Kamala Harris's team that told them and confirmed with them that, hey, we would only be fact checking Trump. Here's some sample questions that we're going to ask. And if you even look at the debate, go back and look at it. It's almost like Kamala Harris had these pre-programmed answers for these particular set of questions. So the things that the person was saying in this affidavit are super consistent. Like, it seems to be very true as far as what they're presenting. I don't know. They supposedly sent a letter to themselves and sent it to a few other people, sent it FedEx, so therefore they would have a record of it the day before. Now, if it was sent the day before and then us seeing what happened at the election at the debate the next day, it does kind of raise an eyebrow. So, and with them being accused of all these things, nobody has come out and just said, we did not send sample questions to Kamala. We did not have an agreement with Kamala's team to where we would not fact check them. Matter of fact, a lot of the things that they're coming out and saying actually make you believe that this whistleblower is telling the truth, because I believe that they said something along the lines of, we negotiated with each candidate and we're clear on each candidate. So you're kind of saying that you negotiated maybe with Kamala's team separately compared to negotiating with Trump's team. So when you're in a negotiation to say, hey, what do we need to do in order to get you to debate on stage and give us this 70 million or these 70 million ratings? I don't know if 70 million were all on their particular platform, but to give us these crazy ratings. And they're going to talk to Trump and say, hey, what do we need to do in order to get you on our platform? Why? Because they're going to make more money. So therefore, they're going to negotiate with each side, whatever they need to negotiate, and go from there. Now, where it becomes, in my opinion, a lack of integrity is when you're providing certain candidates with certain advantages and negotiating those with them without being transparent with the other team and without extending those very same things to them. It's almost like you're putting together a basketball game with two teams, but in order to get this team to play, you tell them like, hey, we got some refs that are going to be real favorable to you. They're not going to be calling fouls on y'all, but they are going to be calling fouls on the other team. You understand how it goes? So that's kind of my thoughts on it. What are y'all's?
And you have to be ready for whatever might come your way, even the most unexpected of moments. As you all know, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And I will say this. All of the noise that you hear afterward about, which candidate won the debate, did the moderators win or lose, that's just noise. Yeah. You all know that. The most important thing to remember is that you all have the power. Everybody at home has
the power. What is he talking about? That's all noise, and you all know that. Let me be very clear. You all, maybe the ones that come to this show, I don't know where Kelly and Mark lean. I assume that they lean in the favor of David Muir for a bunch of different reasons. One in particular, how they conducted this interview. They didn't even ask direct questions about what ABC was called out for. They didn't ask about anything. It's a very softball interview. So the people that maybe support this show, maybe y'all know. But for the rest of us, why would we think this is the arrogance that comes along with these people that are on these mainstream news stations? They actually think that we owe them some type of, I don't know, where we're giving them the benefit of the doubt and that we trust everything that they're saying. Like we owe them our trust. Listen to what he just said.
Moderators win or lose, that's just noise afterward about.
Right.
And I will say this. All of the noise that you hear afterward about, which candidate won the debate, did the moderators win or lose, that's just noise.
First off, we're not, you'll talk about the noise of which candidate won, did the moderators win? How about you address the noise or the actual voice? Forget the noise, the direct voice, the direct accusation that you all cheated pretty much for Kamala. Why don't you address those things? He's telling us this is what people, this is what like an abuser tells you, or somebody who thinks that they're smarter than you. Like, you know this, come on. No, I don't know. That's why we're having this conversation. That's why you are on this platform, because we don't know. This is why you're trying to save face. This is why you're trying to rebuild the credibility that you lost by being biased in that debate. But now he's trying to present it to us as like, come on, that's just noise. Y'all know that. Y'all are too smart to think anything else. That's what it comes across as.
About, which candidate won the debate, did the moderators win or lose, that's just noise. Yeah. You all know that. The most important thing to remember is that you all have the power. Everybody at home has the power.
The most important thing to remember is you have the power. What does one have to do with the other? What does all this noise about the candidate who... No, what you need to address is the thing that you're on the show for, that I've already mentioned. That's what you need to address. Oh, our bias in the debate didn't matter. Whether we helped Kamala cheat didn't matter. You got the power. This is all a nice political finesse. And the shame about it is that for the people that want to believe it, will believe it, because there's a group of people that this fits their narrative. So they want to believe that the moderators were not biased. Cool. If that makes you feel better about the decisions that you're making, lean into it. But anybody watching that debate knows that it was otherwise.
I know you referenced it before that you sort of went, you disappeared into the work leading up to this debate. How long did it take you to recover sort of physically, emotionally after? Have you recovered
This
yet?
is recovery.
This is recovery.
Do y'all realize that these shows on TV, I'm realizing as I'm watching this, I don't watch a lot of these TV shows. I don't watch, like, isn't Strahan? I was in the city the other day and I saw a billboard. I think he's on Good Day America. I think he's on the ABC morning show. I don't watch a lot of these, but it just seems everybody is just acting. It's super phony. And the only reason why it stands out to me is because most of the things that I watch are on YouTube. Most of the things I watch are independent media. So when I see these, it just seems like everything is just so phony, pre-programmed, acting at its best. I don't know. It just doesn't seem as believable.
The things, thank you. I'm not even joking here. Right before we started the debate, Esther, who's my extraordinary producer, you both have met Esther, behind the wall. You know, the room, by the way, was small.
I was going to ask you about
nobody in the room, no audience.
Right.
The National Constitution Center, the stakes obviously enormous, and it was just the four of us. The two candidates walk out, they're within 6 feet of one another, and once that debate gets off and rolling, it's just the four of us in that room. The crew, and you know, God bless the crew, they did an amazing job that night. And right behind the wall, Esther. So right before we start the debate, I just said, oh, I need my bag back. I had to make sure I turned off my cell phones so that Kelly would not text me in the middle of the
So it's just you four, Esther, and 70 million people.
70 million.
Yeah, this is goofy. Super goofy.
Welcome back. There we go.
Super goofy. And speaking of super goofy, we got, who's that? Colbert? Is that Colbert? Or Stephen? That's not Colbert. Oh, wait, is it Colbert?
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest
that's
tonight
Colbert.
is an.
And then,
Ladies
of course,
and gentlemen,
you got Stephen Curry, Mr. Religious, Mr. Christian, who came out and endorsed Kamala, talking about the thing that matters most to him is women's reproductive rights and, you know, women's ability to make their own choices on their bodies and stuff. Yeah, we're living in it is, to say that we're living in weird times, like it doesn't even tell the whole story. Doesn't even tell the whole story. So let's move on. All right, what do we have next? All right, so we are choosing between mom and dad.
Ew, it's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.